Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Tactics Live. It's episode 92 and today we're going to talk about how to keep your Porsche looking new. Before I introduce our guest who's come back, it's been about 4 years. I want to thank Pirelli for sponsoring Tech Tactics Live. Without their support, this wouldn't happen. I want to remind you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Those of you that are watching us live tonight, I'll be monitoring the chat section, and tonight's show is really for you. We've got an expert here. Tim was with us 4 years ago, but we see him all the time at the various shows that we go to. He's the owner of Gran Prix Concours, and I've said it before, he's sort of like the detailer. The detail is probably not enough to cover what you do, but you're like the detailer to the stars in the car world. And if you want to learn more about him and how he got started and how he became the owner of Gran Prix Concours and how he's like the go-to guy to prep your car for Pebble Beach, Amelia Island, keeps going. Check out the podcast that's going to drop shortly. It's podcast episode 195, and you can learn more about Tim. I want to thank Damon and Manny who are behind the scenes making all of this work so that we can go live. I want to thank those of you that are watching. I think we have 54 people at the moment and it's climbing. Again, if you have detailing questions during this hour, I'll be monitoring as he's answering questions and as he's going through the products. So with that, let's get started. The go-to stuff that you talked about 4 years ago, I see has come back, and maybe some of you haven't seen that particular episode, and I know I'm going to just jump right to it. This blue bottle here, this is SD20. Let the folks know what SD20 can be used for.
So SD20 is basically a degreaser that I discovered a couple of years ago in a restoration shop that was using it. They do mostly Ferraris and things. And what I found is it's a degreaser that foams up. It's really easy to use. And it also won't stain things like natural metals. So you can use it like on those Barani wire wheels and spray it, and it takes the center grease off and makes it clean. But I really like it using in engine compartments. You just spray liberally and then go in there with either a steam cleaner or a pressure washer or simply just wiping it off by hand. And it works beautifully. If you need something a little bit stronger, I mean, it's relatively strong, but it's not great. You can go to a citrus degreaser after that if you think you might need something a little bit more powerful. But the original invention was for range hoods in restaurants. Ah. And but what I found later is that people like Pegasus and stuff like that sell it because it takes the rubber off the side of race cars. So when you go to an IndyCar race or you go to a NASCAR race, you're going to see this in various pits because they can just spray it and wipe off. So you guys who run track events, this is going to take the little rubber boogers out of your wheel wells and things like that.
And one of the things that you like to do as far as the products that you carry when you go to customers is being able to buy the product. And for those of you that are wondering, as I did when I first heard about SD20, it's as simple as Amazon.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it's the funny thing is because it is used for range hoods, it's also janitorial supply places and things like that. Okay. So if you're in a city or a place where they would have that kind of thing, you can buy it over the counter. That's where I first started buying it. But otherwise, I just usually order a case on Amazon. It's great. It's not very expensive. Each cabinet works out to be between $5 and $6. So it's not like a huge investment. But once you start using it, you're going to love it. It's great stuff.
Now I see another return item from our other show here is this particular steel wool. And not all steel wool is created equal. Remind folks what this is for.
Yeah, so this was, its original intent is used for furniture restoration. It's sold at places like Rockwell and Woodcraft Supply. It's called Briwax. And I'm sure most of you are familiar when you're cleaning chrome or glass, you've used steel wool before, and you buy the stuff at Home Depot and it's 4/0 steel wool. This actually is rated as 4, but it's more like a 6. It's very, very, very fine. What I'd like to do is, as an example, on an E-type Jag, they have a row of, the early cars have a row of chrome switches, Lucas switches, and they get a little crusty. So what I'll do is I'll clean them off with a little piece of that on a Q-tip, because it'll actually stick to a cotton swab pretty well. Take a little piece, stick it on there, and you can clean little areas with it. So one of the problems, though, is using steel wool is you're going to get a bunch of residue. So go grab yourself a couple of refrigerator magnets, put it in a little plastic baggie, and just run your hand over the carpet and all over the dashboard. Turn it inside out over your trash can, you're clean.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool technique.
Being steel wool, it works pretty well.
In the studio, we have a 59 356, and the Briwax did wonders on the frame, the chrome frame of the door. However, someone used it on the steering wheel, and it didn't bring back the shine on the steering wheel. I'm just saying, I'm not so sure. What did we do wrong there?
Yeah, it's not for aluminum. It's definitely only for chrome, for hard metals. And again, I would use it sparingly. A lot of times I'll use it with a little glass cleaner, add some lubricant to it. And also, if you're doing a major cut where you need a little bit heavier cut than what a normal, say, metal cleaner is going to do, you can put that and use it with any kind of metal polish too. So if you really want to get a fast cut, you can use a little metal polish, steel wool, and then wipe it off.
All right. So these are those they came back.
Yeah.
Because they're just incredible tools to have in your arsenal. I also see these sticks here. This is a comeback tool as well.
Yeah, sort of my signature, I guess you'd call it, the bamboo stick, the skewer. These were recommended by a friend of mine who was a detailer, or he was the detailer for Junior's House of Color in California. So back in the 50s and 60s, and they painted George Barris cars and things like that. But he showed me that the bamboo stick is one of the greatest detailing tools known to man. These things are great. You can get into little corners. You can clean around badges. You guys with stick-on Carrera badges in particular, you can just either wrap a towel around it, put a little speed shine, go around your badges that way, or just use them dry. And as they break in, they kind of form a little, almost like a little brush, and they'll clean really well. But I've used these on everything. They're great. And they have to be bamboo. There are wooden ones. They're terrible.
Has to be bamboo.
Yeah, the bamboo, also, you can take a couple of these and wrap a towel around it and actually use it to poke into places, wheel spokes and things like that too. So
I noticed
pretty versatile for $2.
You were playing around with these on the crank handle of the windows, and where like the surfaces change directions, you can't really get in there and clean it with a towel, no matter how much you kind of push on the towel. But you got the very sharp end of the bamboo and just kind of cleaned it, and it made a world of difference. Yeah. It's all the little details, right?
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things too is I use it a lot on outside trim where there will be rubber next to it. And what I find sometimes it'll leave sort of like, a lack of a better explanation, like a halo. And that'll go in there, you can just take the stick, rub it across the chrome, and it'll take that halo off, and giving a really sharp divide between the black rubber and the chrome.
We have a question from Lance Johnson. When we were talking about SD20, he was wondering if he uses it to clean off the rubber scuffs like on the paint. Yeah. Will that also take off the wax or whatever they have on the panel?
Generally not.
Oh,
yeah, really? Depending on what they're using as a wax. I mean, worst case scenario, just re-wax and use a spray wax or something like that. But generally not. It cleans very well. You're not going to leave it on the surface all that long. Spray wipe, it's off. I mean, this stuff is really fast. We're going to talk a little bit about it in a few minutes, but most of the cars I do anymore, especially track cars, tour cars, things like that, you're going on the Grand, what I do is they're ceramic coated, and it won't affect that at all. Yeah,
well, there's a key word that's probably going to be part of this conversation quite a bit, and that is ceramic. So since you said it, let's talk about, we'll talk about how to care and maintain your ceramics, but let's talk about this product here from Griots Garage.
Yeah, so actually one of my favorites. What I like about this particular thing, most of the ceramics are just basically a coating. This has a little bit of an abrasive in it, so you can, I use it a lot on things like rocker panels, you can actually use it on the entire paint of the car. It'll work great. Works really well with an orbital buffer. So use a 5-inch pad or 6-inch pad, put on relatively low speed, and you can just do a couple of passes, usually red or black pad. And I'll tell you what, it's the gloss that it gives you is ridiculous, and it tends to last pretty long. You know, typical of a wax, it's not the be-all, end-all. You're not going to get 10 years out of it, but you know, when you just need something that's quick and easy, like we were going to use it on things like the dash pieces or the door panel pieces that are metal. It's fantastic for that. You just one coat, wipe it off, done, and they look like $1 million. And
is this good for your weekend warrior
as
well as your daily driver?
Everything. Yeah, that's the nice thing about it. Consider this what you used to use as a cleaner wax. You know, a lot of us grew up with Meguiar's cleaner wax in the red bottle, and that was like the standard. This could be your new standard.
Now, how does this, in terms of once you apply it with the orbital, how long does it take to like haze, and when do you wipe it off? Is it hard to wipe off?
No, I always refer people back to if they have any real serious questions about that sort of thing. My experience with it is to go to the Griots website and look at their videos and stuff. Okay. But for me personally, it's wipe on, give it a couple minutes to haze. Once it hazes, buff it off, done.
Now, there was something that you did, I remember back in the day, that was a cool trick where, I forget what we were using, but it was not hard to get off, but to make it easier to get off, you used speed shine.
Right. In this case, I would use ceramic speed shine.
Ceramic speed shine.
Or ceramic 3-in-1 spray wax.
So once it's haze, you spray a little bit, and it just makes removing the excess that much easier.
I've not had the experience where it was difficult to remove. Yeah. So, but if it was, that's exactly what I would use.
Okay. Very good. All right, so that one's done.
Okay.
Again, if you have questions you would like Tim to answer, just put them up. I know there's a question about maintaining your ceramic C-quartz, and we're going to get to that, but let's go through a couple more products. So let's take a look at...
let's do that one on your right hand.
This one? Okay, yep.
So years ago, I think, actually last time I was here, we talked about using plexus for cleaning things like the any plexi windows, plexiglass headlight covers, anything like that, plexi gauges, whatever it is. I've stepped up my game. I found this particular product actually at an airport, and it's made for cleaning canopies. I've never seen anything better. It fills in fine scratches. So what I do is I'll take as an example, we'll grab a couple of tail lights, like pull the tail lights out of this, and probably the most popular car I do with this is something like an E-Type. They have a little plastic backup light over the exhaust, so it's always black. So unscrew the 2 screws, spray with SD20, literally the black washes off, like it's not even there. Wipe it off, hit it with Prist, and it makes it look brand new. Fills in scratches, and it gives a beautiful finish, but I'll tell you, it's just spray, wipe, done, and it's so easy. One of the things you're going to find with my products, I mean, I've been doing this for over 40 years, is I hate working hard, so whatever makes my life easy.
Work smarter?
Work smarter,
yeah.
Whatever it takes. And I have, range hood stuff, aircraft stuff. I have stuff from all over the different, all different categories. I shop a lot at things like craft stores and model shops, hobby shops have some of the greatest things you're going to find out in a minute. But this just flat out works. And if you do your 911 taillights, on a G body and you're doing across the back, it's unbelievable what it looks like.
Do you have to use anything special to wipe it off?
No, I just use microfiber towels. And then just flip, buff, and it's done. If there are heavier scratches, we're going to get to the next product too while we're at it. This is the new Griot plastic all-in-one. I don't think you've tried this yet.
I haven't tried this one.
So it's a plastic polish. I'll use this on something like this, cordless orbital. You want to get that in there. Yeah. This is a flex, but there are several brands for this. Using a little 2-inch pad like this, you can put some of this polish on it, go over your taillights, and then just hit it with Prist, and they'll look actually better than new, not just new. It's ridiculous how the gloss comes up.
Speaking of filling, you have this little tube that's kind of interesting.
So this was a cheater that I found. It's not something that is that you'll ever see again, probably, or I'm sure no one has ever recommended this to you. This is GS Hypo Cement. Basically, it's made for watch crystals. It dries absolutely clear. It's an acrylic glue. So the story is this. We had a 250 GT Buono that we were taking to Pebble Beach. And it was at the shop for the last day before it got on the truck. They took it out for its last spin, make sure everything works, checked all the tires, everything. Well, it came back and a tiny chip, about a millimeter chip, in one of the fog lights, which are irreplaceable Marshall 990s or whatever, they're crazy. So what I ended up doing was I took this, I cleaned the area with a little alcohol, put the GS Hypo in there, filled it in and made a bump. And then when it dried in about an hour or two, I went back and I took a razor blade and just sliced off the bump.
The excess?
Yeah. They'll never find it again.
Really?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And where does one find this other than Amazon?
It's sold at things like Hobby Lobby and Michael's. They both sell it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the jewelry aisle. You have to look in the jewelry supply because it's used for gluing, like beading. It's a big thing now. They make little beads or jewelry,
right?
And they glue it together with this. And it dries absolutely dead clear. It's amazing.
I love it when you find stuff that is really
Nicole?
for a different industry,
Yep.
and you find a use for it in the
Yeah,
automotive
if you build
side.
models too, it's great for canopies and stuff.
Let me go to this question from
Sure.
Peter Van Volenten. We were talking about the ceramic wax. Can that be used on PPF?
Yes. Yep, no problem at all. In fact, I've done it recently with, and you can use it again. You can use it with a buffer. I generally use a lower speed if you're using a buffer, and use a very soft pad.
Okay.
And just a couple of passes, because you're only applying it. You're not really making it work. If you need a little bit more cutting, you can both polish and compound most films. Okay. So.
Let's go to, again, since we're talking ceramic, and I know these are more specific to repairing things.
Yes.
Let's say we have a question from CTI 1111. For those of you that are, for those of us that are using ceramic coatings like C-quartz, what is the best practices for maintaining the ceramic coating, making it sure that it performs well and performs like it when it was originally applied?
So, ceramic coatings are very interesting. Now, if you had it done, say, at a dealership or at some of these detail shops, these certified places that are certified retailers, let's say, that being one of them, Geon, they have their own stores, things like that, G-Technique. So each one of those has its own system of maintenance. And when you're being sold this product that supposedly lasts between 3 and 5 years, it does require general maintenance. It's very much like taking your car in and having the oil changed. You have to do that as to keep the warranty alive. The same thing with this. Now, each one of those manufacturers will have its own schedule. We have the Geon schedule, which I'll give you a copy of, that you can post online. Okay. And then you can follow what their recommendations are. And what they do is when they register your car, they'll actually send you the booklet and the wash that you're supposed to use. It does use a very specific wash, and it should be washed within usually a couple of months. It depends on how often the car is driven and things like that. But my point is this: you need to go to whoever applied it and whoever is warrantying it, because that's what everybody's after is, well, it's supposed to last 5 years, but it only lasted 2.
But you didn't
because you took it through 7 car washes in the first month. You know, that kind of thing. You really have to be careful with it, but you need to participate to make that work.
So the ceramic coating can protect your car, but its properties, in order for it to perform year after year, you have to almost like top coat it, clean it a certain way to make sure it
absolutely
maintains it.
Yeah, and that's what no one will tell you when you pick up your car. Yeah. And a lot of, you're seeing, at least I'm in the Philadelphia area, so what we're seeing there is a local retailer maybe have some line of Ceramic Pro, or even Geon, whatever it is, and they apply it. They have no warranty, no guarantee, and they'll write up a little thing saying, "Here you go. Your car is going to last 5 years." Yeah, well, it won't. So unless you take care of it and maintain it.
Yeah, so maybe that's a good thing for you guys to, that are getting these. There's some very reputable companies doing it.
Yes.
And you can tell, because if they're letting you leave the door with no instructions, that's a telltale sign that perhaps they're not the best at it.
Yep.
Those that will say, congratulations, your car looks perfect now, and in order to maintain that, you have to do these 10 things.
Yeah, so like a couple of my local detail shops, a couple in Jersey and PA, they set the customer up on a regular schedule to bring the car back. So, if they're driving it, if it's a daily, maybe they'll bring it back once a month just to come in, do a general wash, and just touch up whatever they need. And that perpetuates the warranty. The other thing is whatever brand you have is what brand I would stick with. Okay. So don't use Geon Wash if it's Ceramic Pro. Don't use Q, whatever.
Stay in the family.
Stay in the family, always. And that's true with a lot of this stuff, but it's built as a system. So that system is only going to complement each other and make it easier for everybody. So, yeah.
You bring up a question or a statement that I think some people think about, is they knew enough to get their car ceramic coated because they heard it would be the best to maintain the car. They knew it was going to protect the car. However, they're not the type of person that's really going to ever wash their car. So can they run it through a car wash, or should they run it through a car wash? And I think I know the answer, but I'm going to let you answer it.
Well, actually, I'm going to be that guy.
Yeah.
So you can.
You can, but should you?
Well, I live in the Northeast, and we have salt in our roads. and I will run my personal car through a car wash, and it is ceramic coated.
Uh,
But I will tell you this, once it's done through the car wash, I know that I have some maintenance to do immediately after that.
now, is
So
is it a touchless car wash, or is it the one with the ones that slap your paint with the wet?
Oh, it's full bore. Because, two reasons. One, I hate doing it myself. I hate washing cars. And two, I'm going to see what's going to happen.
Ah,
And because of that, it makes it easier for me to sell the product later, or to tell a person firsthand how your car is going to hold up if you beat the hell out of it.
Yeah.
And I drive my car. I'll put 25,000 miles on my car, and every year, and I take it through everything. So I want to see what it's going to do,
Yeah.
and see which ones actually last. And now, so far, I've used 3 or 4 different products, and each one has had different results.
but they can hold. They can.
Oh,
they
they
can hold up.
I don't. Again, I wouldn't recommend it all the time.
Right.
But if you have to, it's a fact of life sometimes.
Yeah.
Just go get it done, and then have it take it back to your retailer and say, look, I took it through the car wash, and they'll help you out.
And it might, for those of you that have not met Tim before or haven't seen previous episodes, and he just said that he hates washing cars. Sounds kind of weird because we're talking about how to maintain and keep your car clean. Well, this gentleman works on cars that are usually already clean. So by the time he gets there, he's just doing like the last 10% to make it sparkle and have the award-winning. You're working on showcase cars.
Well,
not all the time, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, unfortunately,
you don't normally take a bucket and throw water on it.
And, no.
Or throw water on a car.
No, and never, and literally never. I don't ever wash the cars I work on, but there are many reasons for that. Really, the biggest one is, and a lot of cars will do tours. So they do 1,000 mile, 2,000 mile, whatever it is, tour, and they'll come in, they'll be filthy. But I've already prepped the car, and I do use a lot of ceramics now on undercarriages and inside wheel wells and frame rails, that sort of thing. I ceramic coat wire wheels, painted wire wheels and stuff. Anyway, bottom line is it'll clean up really easily with over-the-counter products like Speed Shine or whatever. And then I use a ceramic detailer sometimes to clean up. It depends on the car. But I can't put a bucket I can't use a foam cannon on a car that doesn't have door seals.
Right.
And the cars I work on are, I'll say, expensive.
Yeah.
And I can't afford to pay 50 grand to have 2 seats replaced. It's just not worth it.
Right.
So, and I see people, they'll go and blast away. Even something that's a more modern car like an F1 or something, I never wash it. And I don't want to plus I don't want the aggravation of going into all those little nooks and crannies. They're still holding water 5 hours after I washed
Dripping.
Dripping, or whatever it is. Yeah. In fact, Griot just came out with this thing for a drip guard that...
I saw it's a magnet.
Yeah, it's a magnet that sticks on the side of the car, But that's not ever the problem with me, because even if I have to wash something, I worry about all those little, like in the engine compartment and the bottom where I need to clean, is soaking, it's in water.
So let me just, a little bit of detail. I just saw that product at SEMA. At the Griots booth, they have, which looks sort of like a terry or microfiber
it's like
cloth.
A strip of microfiber.
Strip of microfiber, but it's encased around a magnet. So you know how like when you wash your cars and you just get that constant drip from whatever location, well, you just put that on your car and it just won't leave that drip because it's all being soaked up by the material, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
You talked about a lot of your customers driving and, of course, might rain on a rally. We have a question from Brandon. Ceramic coatings are great, but the water beading sometimes causes water spots if you're caught in the rain. What are the recommendations for removal? And he goes, I feel like water spotting removers or polish will remove the ceramic coating.
True. On all those accounts, the problem is it really depends on what kind of coatings you're using. I hear this a lot, that water spots. The newest generation of stuff that I'm using, I haven't experienced that yet at all, and I have a couple of cars that have done tours. It really depends on how it's applied, who put it on, and what brand it is. There's so much snake oil out there. Plus, it can happen. It was happening, especially with the first gen stuff. But just a real quick side note. So I was discussing this today with a friend of mine. 2005, 6, somewhere in there, I went to McGuire's and did a seminar out there. And when I was sitting there speaking to the rep, I noticed there's a big box behind the counter called Deep Crystal. Do you remember Deep Crystal? It used to be sold at like Walmart and stuff like that. It was their red bottle, but it was a very special mix and whatever. This was in a box about yay big, and it had a 1 ounce aluminum bottle in it. So I said, what's that? And he goes, well, that's a ceramic coating that we developed for cars in Japan. They have severe acid rain problems, but we can't sell it here.
Oh.
So he shows me these videos of these guys applying ceramic coating back then.
Wow.
Putting it on the cars, and the cars would come out of a car wash, and it would beat up and just blow everything off. Like, it was unbelievable to me. Of course, I ended up with some and tried it myself. It was basically early ceramic coating. Yeah, pretty amazing. But it's been around that long. Now, within the last 2-3 years, and this is this new generation of stuff, and things with graphene in them and are so much easier to apply, so much better quality, and last a lot longer. So, but again, it's all in the application. You got to get the right prep. You got to make sure the car is clean, et cetera, et cetera. If it's done right, it's an amazing thing to have.
All right, let's get back to some of these tools that you brought here.
Oh yeah.
This one, I think this
yeah,
might be.
We talked a little bit about this. Yeah.
I'll put up here for we can zoom in.
We have one out, don't we?
Didn't we have one?
Yeah, I thought we did. Let's crack one open. So these are swabs, cotton swabs. Except one side has.
One side is like your typical Q-tip, but the other side is like a sticky rubber or something.
Yeah, where's our camera here? We'll stick it on the Prist. Can you get this?
There you go.
So you can see.
Okay, yep.
So what I use these for is a lot of times I'll have it sounds crazy, but in my world, it's not so crazy. I take gauges apart, clean inside the gauges. A lot of times the glass is foggy. I just did a set of G-body, in fact. And the glass will be foggy. So I can actually take this and just go around and take any dust out from inside the gauge and then put the glass face back on, and it's perfectly clean. Huh. So basically it's a dust, pick up dust and other little particles and things. And it just comes in handy. Every once in a while you'll get something that you can't reach, that you can just reach in there and go stick, and it cleans it right up.
And where do we get these?
These were bought at Daiso, which is the...
Daiso,
which is the...
Like a Japanese...
It's the Japanese store. It's the $1.50 store. Everything's $1.50. But
in the makeup area?
They are, in the makeup area. And they have a store in New York and a store in San Francisco that I know of. There's probably others. But you can now buy them online at Daiso online.
Okay, cool. Yep. Now this tool, my hands are a little dirty because I was using this tool earlier. We were using Griots Interior Clean, and he was teaching me to clean one panel at a time. And I started with just cleaning with a rag.
Explain what you did the first time.
Well, I sprayed the whole seat, and you yelled at me, and you said put it on to the towel and go one panel at a time, because sometimes if you spray and it dries, it actually the product might cause spotting on whatever you're working on. So okay, I learned something new every time I'm with this guy. So spray the product onto your towel, your microfiber, and work one panel at a time. And I did that, and it got cleaner, but there were still some pretty stubborn stains and marks on it. And he grabs this brush, which looks fairly innocent, but I tell you, it makes the most disturbing scrubbing sound. And he just goes to town on the panel that I was working on. And it's a pretty stiff brush. It's stiffer than Manny will say it's like his toothbrush, but I don't know what toothbrush Manny uses. But
we've seen Manny's teeth too.
This is much stiffer. But he went to town on it and super clean. Flip it over.
Flip it over.
Yep.
The other side.
Oh, and this side.
Yeah.
And this side is where he showed me that you can go into the creases between the piping and the. Let me see if you can get it. There you go. Go between the piping and the seat material to get it clean. And such a simple tool. Yes. But what a difference it made.
Yeah, these are gun cleaning brushes. Amazon, you can buy them by a box of 50 or 100 or even 10. What's interesting about them is in that world, they also come in brass and like a very stiff, hard copper. I wouldn't recommend using those on any car, but the plastic ones are easy and they're very inexpensive. And they have this little cutout. I mean, I guess it's something appropriate for guns, but whatever that little cutout is on there. So, I'm not sure, but anyway, they work great. Yep. And I also use them for things, around trim. Typically what you would use a toothbrush for. But what I like about them is that single row. Yeah. It's amazing how that really gets into places that you wouldn't normally do.
And if you ever have Manny as a judge at a concours, that's what he does. He pulls apart the pleats and he looks down in there. And if you have that tool, He does. That's that. So if
In
you
my
ever have
world-
Manny as a judge, that's his go-to.
In my world, if you judge cars, you never touch them, ever.
Oh, yeah. The different show, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So the other, actually, let me answer this question
Yep.
for Tim Jones because we had the answer earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How might I clean black exhaust residue off my 981 base brushed metal exhaust tip? And I'm thinking it's
SD20 all day.
SD20. And would you do the Briwax too?
Nope.
No, really.
Yeah, no. Start from the beginning. What I always do is err on the side of caution. I use the most simple stuff. So I would start with SD20.
Okay.
And I can tell you firsthand that using one of these, an SD20, would do wonders there. I can tell you a story. I have a F430 that we work on regularly, and it's got titanium tips, and they're rough surface. And I have tried scrubbing, cleaning, beating on them 10 different ways. And the problem is, the more you work it, there is the potential of it actually getting shiny, which you're not after at all. But for general maintenance, that was easy. So the guy who owns the car he builds vintage or restores houses. And I came in one day. He says, "Well, I figured out how to clean exhaust tips." I said, "Oh, what'd you do?" He said, "Muriatic acid."
Oh my
I
gosh.
swear to God.
Oh,
They look perfect.
really?
Yeah, I said, "You do it. I'm not."
Oh,
I said, "I'm never going to do that to your car." I said, "But make sure that when I come here again, that you've already done that, so I don't have to do it." But yeah, it's really true.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we've
Okay.
got a fender here. It's a
yeah.
used fender I got from our friends at Europros years ago. I made a scratch,
Yeah, chip right here.
a chip right there for you, and it's to showcase one of the tools that you have here. So why don't you show our,
So you get that chip. There it
the
is.
chip is right there.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yep.
Okay,
So-
black fender.
Yep.
You've got a couple things going on here.
Sure. So these are little makeup pads. These things are really cool. These are great for actually ceramic, for installing ceramic coatings and stuff, especially on your BBSs and any little intricate area you need to get into. We can talk a little bit about that later, about different ways of applying it. But basically, this is coated with Geon Prep, which is kind of an alcohol base. So I want you to clean this up. It's kind of like a prep sol.
So
For those who
could you use Prepsol instead? Or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. It's just I have this handy. So.
Okay, Geon Prep. Okay.
Yep, so got a little bit of dirt on there. But so this was a tool that your EIC, or editor-in-chief at the Panorama thought was the
Yes.
coolest tool ever.
Mr. Sass?
Yes.
Rob Sass? Okay.
So one of the things I want to talk about too, I'll make this really quick. This is something I use a lot of. This is the new lacquer from Tamiya.
Tamiya, that's like model and
It
RC
is,
car stuff.
but it's acrylic lacquer. So you can actually use this as touch-up.
Oh, okay.
Their Italian red is Rosso Corsa. It's amazing. I'm not talking about painting fenders,
Right.
but when you're doing a little dot like this, easy match.
Okay.
If you want to get more serious, these are paints from a company called Zero Paints. This, of course, is acid green, and it's the real thing. And this is one of the more popular ones I use.
Now again, this is made for models, but you're
Yep.
using it in your application
Yeah,
for
also
touch-ups and stuff.
Right. Also,
Okay.
acrylic lacquers, both are a base clear, so you need to clear over them. But the paint matches are incredible, how good they are and how close they are. This is real BBS gold. I've used it on real BBSs. They also make things like Watanabe gray and Ducati gold for their frames. But they make all these different blends of colors. I painted it's a quick story. I had a friend that has a 612 Scaglietti, and it's got it's Tour de France blue. So I bought the touch-up paint, and I took his key fob, pulled out the plastic part, airbrushed it, Tour de France blue, and put it back together. Matches this car perfectly. Okay,
All
so
right.
because we're just doing black,
Yep.
I'm just going to use this Tamiya stuff because it's easy and quick, and it dries in about 2 seconds. But the real story here is this. So we have,
Show them. Yep. I'll get
I'll
that
put
out.
that against the background.
There you go.
All right.
So this brush has one end that's like a normal brush,
So we've
and
got
then
a brush.
and the other end is a
Is a
tip
ball.
with a ball on the end of the tip.
Let me see if I can just hold it here and you guys can zoom in.
Let's see if it zooms in. There it goes.
There we
It's
go.
coming.
Getting there.
There you
There
go.
it is.
So you
All
see
right,
there's a little ball at the
It's got
end.
a little round ball at the end. So what this is used for is for nail art. And when you want to put polka dots on your fingernails, that's what this is used for.
Okay.
It makes a perfectly round dot.
Dot.
And they come in, this pack has 5 different brushes, 5 different size dots. And it's as simple as putting a little dot on the end of the brush, on the end of the thing. There, it's
tip,
black.
yep.
Yeah, so we'll put another dot. And then just lean that up and fill the dot. Of course, it won't do it when I'm here.
No.
Yep, there it is.
Okay. So
But usually what it does, let me get a little bit more paint on there. That's what it needs. Just go in and go bloop, bloop, and it's done.
Okay.
And it makes a perfectly round dot. So all you do, so let it dry. And then if it's raised at all, or if it's dry, if you need to put another dot, dot it again.
Yeah.
I've used it with things like Duplicolor Touch-Up. I've used Automotive Touch-Up. Any of those manufacturers that, you get the touch-up pens, even the Porsche stuff.
Right.
I've used it with that. Any kind of paint that uses touch-up.
Would you be able to use it with like Dr. Color Chip? And
Yeah, exactly. Same
okay.
stuff, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So instead of using a brush, or a lot of people use those micro brushes,
Right.
which are fuzzy and can leave fuzz.
Right.
This will never leave fuzz because there isn't any.
Huh.
So anyway, let's say you do a pretty serious chip now and it's pretty big. This is one of my favorite tools. Again, this one is not for the faint of heart.
Okay.
So this is Kovax. These are
Kovax. K-O.
VAX.
VAX. Yep. There you go.
It's called Toll Cut, and it's a hard rubber block. It comes with 2 blocks, one that looks in the profile of an airplane wing. You get a kit. This is in 1500, and this side is already in 2000, but they come up to 5000 paper from, I think, 800, 1000, 1500, 2000, 3000, and 5000. So basically, once you get your dot and it's slightly raised, you can go in, and this hard block can just go in and sand back and forth, up and down, and it creates just enough to level it and walk away. And then the sanding marks, just simply go back. You can either do it by hand, because you're only talking a surface area of a couple of millimeters.
Yeah.
So you can go in and just do it by hand with a little compound, and then go over it with your with a polish.
What is this made for, or what industry is this?
I buy, the stores that supply this to me do guitar repair or instrument repair.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. Everything's on Amazon.
It is, and that's where that one came from.
Okay.
But they're self-stick. They last a long time. My friend uses them. He's the one that showed me this system. He does PDR.
Okay.
So he's doing paintless dent removal, and when you get Audis and things like that, he can go in and just take a toll cut block and go up, and then polish it, and it's done.
All right.
It's amazing.
Speaking
Great
of paint,
stuff.
I think this is some kind of special paint.
All
This
right,
is,
here's your...
I recognize this brand,
Yes.
Revell, which is, back in my day as a kid, I'd be putting together model kits from this company. And they're still making model stuff, and this looks like they say chrome spray, but it's missing the E.
Yes. Well, this is one of the best cheaters I've found yet. Okay, so everybody's seen chrome paint. You can buy it online. You can buy Rust-Oleum sells it. Everybody makes a chrome paint. Then you have the more advanced ones, things like ALSA and stuff like that, which are actually a coating that need a ton of prep. This is simply one-step chrome spray. It is the chromiest chrome spray I've ever seen. Very, very reflective. It's amazing. It's used for doing chrome on models. So when your bumper needs a repair and it's 1/25th scale, you can sand it off, re-chrome it with this, and it looks 99%
And it's a spray?
Yes.
Okay.
The beauty of this, it is an acrylic paint, okay? And there's also, to complement that, there's something like this. These are the Molotov pens called Liquid Chrome. And that's in the way, yeah. Liquid Chrome. And these are available at art stores and Hobby Lobby and stuff. But basically, this is a pen that comes up as chrome paint. These are used for marking, say, balloons or mugs and stuff like that, and it looks like chrome.
Huh.
What I use this for, though, is really trick. So a lot of you guys have cars with cast taillight housings. So when you're restoring a car, or I'll usually pull the lenses out of the car. And with the lenses out, I'll clean them inside and out with SD20, polish lenses. But while the lenses are out, you look inside, and a lot of times they'll be corroded, or the chrome doesn't go all the way in, or they're just totally beat up inside.
Yeah.
what I'm able to do is go in there, I mask off the bulb holder, and go in there and just scuff it down with a little.
Sometimes they flake, right? The old.
Yeah,
Chrome
they flake off, exactly. So I'll take some of the steel wool, clean it up real quick with a little prep saw, mask it off, spray it with the Chrom spray. Now it's a reflective surface again. Oh. And it's unbelievable how quick and easy it is. And now you've got something that, A, sealed off the corrosion, fixed the problem, and now is reflective again. So when you put that assembly back together, it looks like a brand new taillight.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, a couple more tools, and then we want to do some kind of show and tell on the fender.
Sure.
These two pieces here.
Oh, this is just a generic applicator that we use for ceramic coatings. This is, you'll see these a lot now. This one's made by Matco. Basically, it's just a metal spoon. I find these to be really helpful. Again, you can wrap towels around them, you can stick it into places, whatever, but they work really, really well. But it's just a metal tab, and they work great.
Matco, I saw something earlier that was
Oh,
Matco.
yeah, I put that over here. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. Here it is. Maybe the goofiest looking tool we've ever seen.
There you go, Damon.
All right, now, it does break, so you can tilt this 90 degrees to get more leverage, okay? And what this is it has these grippies, and it's made for popping apart your electrical connectors, the ones with the plastic tab that you push.
try to pinch with your fingers and you never pinch enough.
You're right, you can never pinch enough, or you push them and the tab breaks.
Yeah.
This goes in, right over the top, boom, pulls it right out.
And gives you that little handle to give you leverage to pull it off. Oh, okay.
Yep, and
cool.
I can say firsthand it works.
And this is only available from the Matco truck?
Right now, it's a Matco product, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yep, but I'm sure other people will come up with it.
All right, so I think now while I continue to look at some of the questions,
sure.
A lot of people talk about ceramics and they have a car, they want to do ceramic, but they not necessarily the full-on 5-year, $2,500 ceramic system. You brought something that our viewers might be able to do themselves.
Yes, so I tend to think that there are different levels of ceramic. You have the SiO2, the quartz stuff that is sold over the counter, things like the Griots stuff or Atom stuff, and some of them have graphene added to them, which is sort of an extra layer of protection. And then, so that's more of a consumer grade, and then you have, and that also includes things like the ceramic detailers. Then you have your pro grade, which is, little bottles such as this. This is one of the crazier ones that are out there. This is IGL Kenzo. So 2 bottles, extremely difficult to apply, but produces probably the best finish I've ever seen. But this is also extremely expensive. You have to be a certified dealer to buy it, blah, blah, blah.
And if you apply it incorrectly, you can streak the heck out of your car.
Yeah, you're going to be working a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Way too long.
So because
I
most of
wouldn't
our
recommend
members,
this.
if you want that, then have a pro do it.
Absolutely.
But I thought it might be cool for him to showcase something that you could do at home. And honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing it. So hopefully I can do it to this car.
Yeah, so what's really cool is this is one of the new products from Gion. It's called, this is CanCoat EVO 2. EVO 2, or Q2.
CanCoat.
Yeah, EVO Q2, yeah.
Also available on
CanCoat
Amazon.
Yes, it's on Amazon. It's about $60. Comes with applicators, comes with sprayers, comes with everything. As you can see, I've been using it.
It's not very big.
It's not.
How many cars?
That's 2 cars I've gotten out of this, and that's a little bit left, yeah.
2 cars and a little bit
left.
left.
And you can do your wheels with it. You can do your, I would do the paint and do the wheels. At least the wheel faces, if nothing else. But CanCoat's revolutionary, in my opinion. Because it's so easy to put on and it comes right off. And there's no rubbing, no buffing, no aggravation as long as the surface is prepared. And prepared meaning, if you're working on an older car, it's got scratches in it and that sort of thing, you want to cut, polish, whatever it takes to get rid of that. So, my routine is something like clean it with speed shine, then go over with a clay bar, and then go into it with a polish or a compound, and then polish, et cetera, et cetera. And then finally, this would be your last step. Prior to this being put on, you need this, which is prep, which is that really, actually it smells pretty cool. Yeah. But it's their prep for I broke the top today, sorry.
Okay.
But it's their prep before putting the CanCoat on.
So do you think I can call you out and you can do it on the fender? Or?
Sure, yeah, what I did on the fender already,
Come on around.
I've given it a quick polish so we didn't have to go through that aggravation. So what I'll do is let me get a towel.
Now I've got my phone with me, so if you guys have questions while he's doing this, I'll answer them for you. So you've prepped it somewhat.
Yep.
And you're grabbing your applicator.
And the towel.
Towel, prep, coming around here.
So I'll use a different color towel.
And we're just going to work on this one fender here.
We're still on?
Yep.
Good.
It's live.
No, I meant I hit the microphone.
Oh.
Okay.
Let me know if I can hold. Yep.
You can hold?
Yep.
So we'll do first is we'll just hit it with some of the prep. By the way, these are wonderful. You people who own black convertible tops.
Yeah.
Don't drive your car very often. Top's dirty.
Yeah.
Speed shine.
With a black towel.
With a black towel. It doesn't leave any lint.
No.
And if it does, it's black. Who cares? So we'll just put this on.
So that's the prep?
Yeah, this is just prep. That's all it is. Kind of like an alcohol wipe and wash. Just turn that over, give it a quick wipe. What's amazing about this stuff, though, is this new generation, these ceramics are just so easy to apply. Now, I had some issues with the bottle because this is a bottle I've been using, and I didn't bring an extra sprayer.
Oh.
So what I'm going to do is just open this up, and I'll apply it onto the applicator. I got it.
You good?
Yep, no problem. But this just shows you that once it hardens and dries, it does crystallize. And it becomes basically a coating and nice and crispy.
And once you've used this to do whatever you're doing, throw it away. Don't reuse it.
Oh, the towel, yeah, the pad.
The pad, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's gonna be
the CanCoat, this has only been open for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend.
Very little product.
Yeah, very little product. You don't need much with this stuff anymore.
Okay.
And then just, I just like to go back and forth. Just nice and easy. No pressure, just letting the material do the work.
And Brandon online here, he says he's used CanCoat as well. He's a huge fan of their product. So
yeah, it really is. It's tremendous. I gotta say, it's really funny.
So far, it looks pretty easy.
Yep.
You're not worried about streaking or anything, or?
Nope.
Okay.
That's what I love about this stuff. Hey, this new gen stuff is just so good.
So different from just a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So.
And you didn't even wait for it to haze. It was still
no,
kind of.
it's only a couple minutes. That's all it really needs. You can go up to 5 usually before, you have any issues, and really. That's
5 what? 5 minutes?
5 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, just for purposes for us tonight, just doing that is what you need to do. So
that's it.
You're done.
And it's even.
Yeah.
That's
no
easy.
high spots, no reapplying, no buffing. Yeah.
Now we're showcasing CanCoat. We're not sponsored by CanCoat or anything like that.
I'm not sponsored by GM.
You're not sponsored, but are there other products similar to this, or is this?
I haven't tried one yet that works as well as this. There are other brands that may have something similar. Mm-hmm. But I've used this on every kind of car you can imagine, and it's been phenomenal. I especially like CanCoat in wheel wells, doing springs and struts and things like that on track cars.
Yeah.
And works great for that, and valances and stuff like that. What you're going to find too with these ceramics, which is really unusual, no other product does, is that we'll walk away from this and it'll sort of flash off and harden, and it actually kind of darkens. Huh. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But yep.
So that was pretty simple. Looks like I think most of you at home could do that without any sort of worries.
Follow the instructions.
Follow the instructions.
I mean, you can. We probably should have let it flash off another couple of minutes, but it really is that simple. I mean.
Now, this level of protection is not like your 10-year professionally installed one, but for
and
a car
even your 10 year isn't 10 years, anyway,
right,
as I said,
right,
unless you do everything, dot every I and check, cross every T. But with this, you can put it on. You're going to get probably a year out of it without any trouble. It depends on how often you drive and where you're driving.
Right.
I mean, if around Philly, if I put it on this month, by the time the second snowfall, you're going to be reapplying it because the salt probably will chew it right off.
Well, I'm definitely going to try it because that was quite easy. I've done that very
you can
similar
almost
to
do
it
this.
before. I could almost do it. Todd Baldwin online says, what did you mean when you said prep the car before you used the prep coat?
Yeah, so I was trying to suggest is this. If you haven't cleaned the car in a while, you really need to go through the motions. If you like using a foam cannon and washing, do that. Mm-hmm. Follow it up with a clay bar, get every bit of contaminant out of it, and then assess what you have. If you need to polish it, polish it. Get the thing polished to as good as you can make it. And then after that, you want to just go back and use the prep and apply the CanCoat as just think of the CanCoat as wax. That's the easiest way to, liken it. It's this, just think of it as a final coat.
So I'm going to give this back to you, and if you could demonstrate to our viewers, Manny's going to follow you with the camera and maybe go to the. This is one way I can get you to clean that seat.
Oh, great! Thanks.
Yeah. Show them how you would use that, and
on the seat.
On the seat, because it did kind of catch. It kind of caught me by surprise at how aggressive you were with it. So go to the driver's side.
Yes.
Manny's going to follow you.
Do you have the
it's in there.
interior cleaner? Okay.
It's already in there.
And towels in there too?
Yep.
Good.
Towels in there, and then the preps right there, so Manny can. And he's also got a nice little light. Talk about the little light you got there.
Oh yeah, this is from Lume Cube. These lights are amazing.
Show Manny down there. Show Manny down in the car. Yep.
So these are from Lume Cube. Has a diffuser on it. The color is adjustable. This
Lume
is
Cube.
Yeah, Lume Cube. LUMECUBE. When I did a series of videos with Haggerty, and all the guys were using these for camera lights.
Yeah.
And what I find is, if they can use it they're amazing for detailing.
Okay.
And because you can adjust the color temperature and anything else you need to adjust, it's fantastic. What's really interesting about this, though, is they make a literal cube. It looks like an ice cube.
Yeah.
It's like 1 inch by 1 inch square. And what I do is, like, best thing I can tell you is when I'm working on an F1, your center seat, there's shelves behind you. So I'll put one on each shelf and point right across this dash, and it lines up perfectly with the dash.
Just to give you light to clean.
Yeah.
Oh,
and they're cordless.
Ah, okay.
So you can put them anywhere.
And how long do they last?
2 to 4 hours, depending on what temperature you're at. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is pretty basic cleaning here. We're not going to really, but let's see what we can get as far as the lighting. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, hand me that juice.
You want one of these?
Sure. Oh no, not that.
No.
I need one that's not been soaked in CanCoat, thanks.
Oh yeah. See, I just did a major faux pas there. Gave you a towel with CanCoat on it.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So you're spraying on the product, which I did not do.
Yep. I spray it on there, and I spray a little bit on the brush. I mean, this is like detailing 101. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I just want people to see how
how dramatic
it was.
All right, let's see. This is the panel we didn't do yet.
Right.
Manny, can you see this dirt right here? You catching that line of dirt?
Yep. Almost. There you go. Yep. There you go. Good.
This is Griots interior cleaner, which is really nice because I've used it on all kinds of things. These are vinyl seats, by the way.
Now, would you use the same method on leather seats or something different?
You could.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily use a brush this stiff.
Yeah.
I would use something a little softer. One of the interior brushes, there's a bunch of them out there. Whichever one you like to use, basically. There's so many out there. There's a new brush system coming out that you'll see soon. It might have an application for this, but let's just get that part done and you can see what we've got. So, I mean, that took no time, basically.
And look at that.
It just comes up black on the towel.
So simple. So simple, but an easy way to take care of your car. And the seats never looked that good.
So with this brush, too, what I like about it is when we come up here, let me hold this up a little higher so you can get it. So we'll get right in here and get right between all the cracks and things like that. The other thing I like to do before I would do this typically on a car is I would vacuum these seats and use a brush and kind of bounce out as much dust as possible, because you don't want to keep it grinding the dirt in between the pleats. So you want to vacuum out the pleats before you even get started. I wasn't expecting to clean this, so I didn't do that. But that would be my normal process. Sometimes it's easier to do that up front and then go over it when you're done. But any of these, this particular product I like, it has no scent, which is interesting because most of them have some goofy, fake leather scent or whatever, or they smell like a toilet cookie, something you'd find a urinal cake. So it's nice to have a product that doesn't have a scent, and you can see hopefully you can pick that up in the camera, how clean it is. I mean, it's like brand new again.
Looks great.
It also had a problem. Somebody has used some kind of protectant on it, and man, if you can come back and look at this, and you can see that the seats look like patent leather.
Yeah.
And they're
shiny.
Like they were dipped like a bar top and shiny. And now this is a more natural finish.
Well, folks, we are at the top of the hour. Thank you for
There we go.
showcasing and demonstrating. I just want to remind you all, PCA Sim Racing is about to go live here just at 9 o'clock. I remind you to check out PCA's podcast, PCA Insider. I want to remind you, if you haven't already signed up for our free newsletters, you can do so at pca.org. E-brake news, Smart Fresh news, performance news. And of course, if you're going to be in the Santa Clarita area this Sunday, we would love to see you at Unstock 2025. And it should be a great time. We have 130 some cars registered. It's going to be rain or shine. I know though we're still keeping our fingers crossed for good weather, but we're going to have a good time regardless. And if you're feeling lucky and you're a PCA member, we have the fall raffle, and we're giving away a 911 GTS plus $35,000. And we're not only giving away one of those, but we're getting ready to add a second grand prize, which is another 911 Carrera with $35,000. And as we get closer to the end of the raffle, the more people buy entries, the more cars we add. So again, I want to encourage you, if you own a Porsche, grab that VIN, head over to pca.org, become a member, get to do fun stuff like this, meet great people like Tim, and learn how to take care of your car. And with that, I want to thank you for joining us for Tech Tactics Live. Till next time, stay safe, everyone.